Okay, welcome back to our video series on C. We're looking at expressions and statements. So expressions represent single data items. They could be numbers, characters, and it may consist of a single entity, such as a constant or a variable, but more often than not, expressions are these combinations of entities that are connected by different operators. So for example, we have a plus b, x equal y, and there's a list there you can look through of examples. And on their own, these are the single entities we're referring to, which don't really do much on their own. So statements cause an action to be carried out. And there are three of these kinds of statements in C that we're going to look at: expression statements, compound, and control statements. So with expression statements, they cause the expression to be evaluated, and any valid expression may be made into an expression statement, though not all expressions make useful statements by themselves. So if you think about the example of a comparison statement, A less than B, well, this makes little sense as a standalone expression statement with a semicolon at the end of it, which turns it into an expression statement. The examples we have here, the first one, well, because it has a semicolon on the end, it's not only just an expression now, it is actually an assignment statement. So it assigns the value of 0 to the variable I. I++, we know this to be an incrementing statement. It increments the value of I by 1. The next one is an assignment statement as well, but it first evaluates the expression on the right, which is 5 plus I over here, and then it assigns the results to this variable A on the left. The next one, the fourth one here, is another assignment statement, though it's a little bit more complex because M is multiplied by X, and then that result is added to B, and then the final result is then assigned to Y. So we notice that everything on the right has to be evaluated before it's assigned to the left. Printf, this statement causes the print function to be evaluated, and in the example on the slide here, if the value of M is 5, the result would be slope equals 5 would be output in the UART window. We don't use the printf, but you can if you want to try it. I've never actually tried to use it, but it might be fun to experiment with that. See if you can get it to work and show me. This last one, which is just a semicolon, is an empty statement. It does nothing and is often referred to as a null statement. It makes little sense by itself, but it is very useful in other circumstances, which we will see later on for loops, for the for loop in particular. Okay, compound statements are a group of individual statements that are enclosed inside the opening and closing curly brace. And individual statements that are within there may be any statement type, including compound. And what it does is it allows those statements to be embedded within other statements. Now, it does not end with a semicolon after the closing brace. They're also called block statements. So let's look at some examples here, or one example. You can see with this one that we have an opening brace up here and we have a closing brace. So everything inside here, this entire thing is one compound statement. Now it has individual statements, and here's an assignment statement here, which is a statement expression, and we have another statement expression and various statement expressions within here. We could also have another compound statement within this compound statement. Control statements are the last kind of statements. They're used for loops, branches, and logical tests, and they often require that other statements be embedded within them. So this statement contains a compound statement, which in turn contains these two expression statements, okay, like I said here, these two ones. And the compound statement will continue to run as long as the value of distance does not exceed 400.0. So as long as this is true, meaning if it's less than that, it will continue to loop. So we'll see more about the loop later, particularly the while one, but let's look at its syntax here. After the keyword after the keyword while, there comes an expression. This is not a statement, it's an expression, which is followed by this compound statement. So in this example, the expression is enclosed within parentheses, you can see here, okay, and to separate it from the statement for readability. The statement itself is a compound statement and is therefore enclosed in curly braces. Okay, so there's just some examples and just highlighting the differences between expressions and statements.